All right, I'll start. My name's Enerson. Hello. I live in Stoughton, Wisconsin. Married. I've been in the order since,
Don't say it.
1996.
That's when some of you were born, isn't it?
Yes. And been active as a youth, and glad to be back serving this great organization as the Associate Section Advisor here at C7, working with the finest youth that I think this order has here in Section C7. So.
Yeah. All right. Some of you probably know me. My name's Sam Gartzman. A lot of people like to call me Sammy G. I am from Bakajuan Lodge. I was inducted in the order in 2007. I got my brother in 2008. Vigil in 2012. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. I feel old already. I currently go to Beloit College in Beloit, Wisconsin. Right on the Illinois-Wisconsin border in the heart of Section C7. And I was a section officer, I was a section vice chief last year. And now I'm just kind of a section weirdo that takes pictures of everyone.
Yeah!
Really cool.
Yeah!
But today, Adam and I have a really, really great training for you. And it's really not much of a training, it's more of us talking about you guys as leaders. Because all of you guys here are great leaders. And the reason that you're here is because you guys are the face of our order. And you guys are the gatekeeper. We use that word a lot. But you guys really are the gatekeepers to the rest of the people in your lodge. Because obviously, you guys have your wonderful lodges that you're going to go back to at some point this weekend. And you guys are going to be able to, share your experience with them there. But we want you to share this experience that you had here with them. Because we want the Order of the Arrow we want the principles of the Order of the Arrow to be shown to everyone in our section. And so if we can go to the next slide, we're going to talk about kind of what makes a good leader. And so can you guys kind of raise your hands? What are traits? There's a lot of great leaders in the room. Can we get some traits or characteristics of a good leader? Yeah. Strength. Brave. Okay, brave, yeah. Honesty, great. Unselfish. Leads by example. Going a little fast, right? Yeah.
Be a servant as well as a leader.
Servant as well as leader. Okay. Come on. Is that it? Is that all a good leader has to be? Personable. Okay. What else? Loyal. So we're getting a lot of the Scout law in here. Responsible. Mature. These are all really, really great traits of a good leader. And as we're all leaders in the Order of the Arrow, and we're all here, many leaders kind of struggle to become a good leader. It takes a long time for people to really become a good leader. And one of the biggest struggles that leaders have, and we have it in the section level and the lodge level, I'm sure, and you're true, is to get the buy-in. As a leader, you're always trying to get someone to buy something. Come to my event, come to the COC, come to Section Conclave, come to our lodge weekend. There's all these different things you're trying to sell a product and stuff. We're not a business Order of the Arrow, but you're trying to get a buy-in as a leader. I want you to really build upon the brotherhood, cheerfulness, and service. That's something that maybe one of our lodge leaders would say. So definitely, we want good leaders really struggle with finding gaining that buy-in. And Adam's going to talk a little bit about that buy-in and different things about that.
Thanks, Sam. All great leaders, all the great inspiring leaders and organizations in the world have one thing in common, whether it's Steve Jobs of Apple or Martin Luther King or the Wright brothers. They all think, act, and communicate exactly the same way. It's completely different than how society, how you and I think, act, and communicate, and how most companies and organizations communicate. They think very differently than us. This idea is not just fluff, it has been proven. And Sam's going to get a little bit more into the scientifics of this philosophy a little bit later, but it is scientific. it's a very, very simple idea. We're going to try to help explain that right now. Through something we call the golden circle. So the golden circle, I have 3 circles. All right, in the golden circle, we have the why in the middle, the how, and the what. And this philosophy here, can't see it, Sam's gonna move it for you. This philosophy here is how great organizations and great leaders think. Let me get into it a little bit and define the terms in the circles here. Every organization and most everybody knows what we do. Can you guys give me some examples of what we do in the order of the arrow? Serve. Give back to scouting. Any other whats? What does the order of the arrow do? What makes us an organization? Yes?
Brother.
Brother. Cheerfulness. Service. Perfect. Those are all great examples of what we do. And most members of our organization know what we do. And that is probably the reason they were elected into this organization, was because of what we do and how their troops and their their colleagues in the troop recognized in them. So that's what the order of the arrow does. Now there are some, moving inward, there are some organizations and some leaders that know how they do it. So most people know what. There are some, not all, that know how they do it. So how does the order of the arrow show service, brotherhood? Anybody out there? How do we do this? Yes?
Through community service.
Community service. To the communities, to our camps. Unselfish service. Servant leadership towards one another, towards the Boy Scouts in general. You know, we put our words into action, and that's how. Okay? But very, very, very few leaders, very few organizations know why they do it, okay? And I don't mean like we do it to get more members. We do this brotherhood conversion weekend to get more brotherhood members, or we do inductions to get more members in our organization. And in a company sense, I don't mean we create a product because we want to create, make money for our organization. The why is, what is your purpose? Why should I care what you think? What is your belief? Why does your organization even exist? And why should I care? What gets you out of bed in the morning? That's your purpose. That's the why that every organization and every great leader can answer. So, when we're looking at a great organization or a great leader, they look at it from the inside out. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of 2 companies, and one is a great company, and they look at things from the inside out. They answer the why question first and work their way out to the what. There are those that are not so great in how most people, including you and myself, communicate with the what. We communicate with the simple things first, and then we work towards the fuzzy things, whereas great organizations work from the inside out. And that's what inspires people. It's when you're digging into the personal level and touching them in a personal sense that you get them hooked on your organization, or you get them to follow for your cause. So with that, we'll show 2 videos and we'll come back.
Mix. Bitrate.
Sampling rate.
Compression.
Peer-to-peer.
Stream. Rip.
Quantization. Buffer.
MP3.
Scans.
Encryption.
Copyright. Fair use.
Playlist.
Mix.
Burn.
Music's getting complicated, but Gateway makes it easy. Buy one of our best-selling home PCs, and for $1 more, get a digital music studio pack with 50 music burns from Rhapsody. Check out our 500X desktop for downloading. Rip, burn, respect. Gateway.
This is it.
This is what matters. The experience of a product. How will it make someone feel? Will it make life better? Does it deserve to exist? We spend a lot of time on a few great things until every idea we touch enhances each life it touches. You may rarely look at it, but you'll always feel it. This is our signature, and it means everything.
What did you see different? Anybody, what did you notice in the first video? Yes, guys. The first video gave straight facts, talked about their computers, talked about the products, the features, the benefits to their computer. Yep. Sorry? The first one had a purpose, okay. The first one showed its product, okay. And how about the second one? What did you feel on the second one? Yeah. Okay. Made you think that it was something different, is what he said? Unique? Okay.
It was more generalized.
It was more generalized? Okay. Yep. Yep, how their product would impact their life. So, again, two different approaches. What product would you buy based on these two commercials? Yeah. They weren't even selling the product. I think some of you picked up on that. Did you all pick up on that? That they weren't really even pushing a single product. It was just their philosophy, why they create what they do and why they do it. So Apple does this. They pull on your heartstrings. They talk about how their products and how they change the world with their products. Whereas other computer companies have the same resources at hand, have the same technology, have very competent people doing what they do, but yet they advertise that way and it doesn't really change the world like Apple has. So with that, people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. I'm going to say that one more time. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And to tie this back into the Order of the Arrow, it isn't events, it's not conclaves, it's not winter banquets, it's not call-outs that keep people coming to events. Yeah, we have to have those events, and yes, people gather at those events, but it's the purpose of those events, it's the brotherhood, it's the connecting between one another that keeps people coming back. It's the friendships, it's the why we are here, and why we care about this organization that keep people coming back. It's the core beliefs and the mission. Can I get another slide? Nope, never mind. I don't have that one in there yet. It's the core beliefs, the mission, and the purpose of the Order of the Arrow that keep people coming back.
All right, so we have another video lined up for you guys. Who's seen the movie Bug's Life? Woo! Yeah. I have. So for those of you who haven't seen the movie Bug's Life, and it's basically about these ants who spend a lot of the day spend their summers collecting food for grasshoppers. And there's one ant in particular, his name is Flick, and he kind of thinks a little different. So let's see kind of what Flick thinks.
Let this be a lesson to all you ants. Ideas are very dangerous things. You are mindless, soil-shoving losers, put on this earth to serve us.
You're wrong, Hopper. Ants are not meant to serve grasshoppers. I've seen these ants do great things. And year after year, they somehow manage to pick food for themselves and you. So who is the weaker species? Ants don't don't serve grasshoppers. It's you who need us. We're a lot stronger than you say we are. And you know it, don't you?
Well, princess.
Hopper, I hate to interrupt, but, you ants stay back!
You can only do a Flick. But you guys got the idea from that. What did Flick do well in the video? What did he do to get his buy-in? He stood up for what he believed in, yeah. He communicated. What else? Anything else? He almost got stomped down by a grasshopper, I could say that. But we go back to the golden circle. He started with the why. He didn't start with the what. The grasshoppers were concerned with the food. That's the what. He started with the why. And you can also see there's a tipping point. You know, there's the princess that came in that just started to save him, and then all of a sudden, there's kind of this tipping point, and everyone started to join in and support Flick. So that's insane. When you're leading in the order of the era, or really when you're leading in general, there's a tipping point. So you get, your little critical mass. So let's check your critical mass. I don't know. Let's say it's 12 people. You get your 12 people encouraged. Then all of a sudden, you're just going to see everyone flocking in. And what we're talking about is not grounded in it's not like we're just like, oh, it's the what, how, and why. Like, this is grounded in biology, not psychology, biology. If you were to take a cross-section of your brain from the top down, it lines up perfectly with these golden circles. Your outermost brain, called the neocortex, is with the what level. Your neocortex is kind of, it controls your rational thought, your analytical thought, and it controls your language. And then the inner two circles are your limbic brains. Those control your feelings, trust and loyalty, and all different, it's your feeling. It also controls human behavior, decision making, and there's no capacity for language. So, if we communicate from the outside in, we can understand all these benefits, features, and all the what it doesn't drive behavior. If you communicate from the inside out, you're talking with a part of the brain that makes decisions. And we're able to rationalize what we say and do. The inside of the brain is where your gut decisions come from. Have you ever had the time where someone has explained to you all these facts and figures and benefits, and then you're saying, yeah, I get all those facts and figures, but it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. Why would you use the verb feel? Well, that's because that's coming from your limbic brains. The limbic brains don't do language. The best they can muster up is, it just doesn't feel right. And if you don't know why you do what you do, how is anyone else supposed to know why you do what you do? The goal in our organization is to work with people who have similar beliefs than you. The goal is not to sell people who need what you have, but the goal is to sell people who believe what you believe. And so now we're going to go into a few different examples from two different people. And I'm going to start with a bad example. So the next one is we're talking about, who knows the company TiVo? That's probably good. It's a bad example. So TiVo, I'm telling you, is probably one of the best products out on the market right now. TiVo, you can pause live TV, rewind live TV. It remembers your viewing habits. But TiVo is a commercial failure. TiVo, when they came out, this is what their commercial said. We have TiVo. It pauses live TV, skips commercials, rewinds live TV, and memorizes viewing habits. And then the cynical majority that we are today in society, they said, we don't believe you. That's why the stock doesn't sell with TiVo right now. But if TiVo were to promote their program like this, are you the person who wants total control of your viewing experience? It pauses live TV, skips commercials, and rewinds live TV. Whoa. Don't you guys want to buy TiVo now?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? All right, another example. And another thing, this goes back to what Adam was saying, is people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So who knows what happened in the summer of 1963? Oh, we just had a holiday on. Martin Luther King Jr. led his I Have a Dream speech on the mall, on the National Mall. Over 250,000 people from across the country traveled to Washington, D.C. to hear him speak. There was no invitations, no websites, no Facebook invites, there was nothing. How did he get 250 people to come to his event? Well, he told people what he believed. He said, I believe. And Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't the only one who suffered in the civil rights movement, or the only one who was a good orator. There's a lot of people that can speak at the time, but he always talked about, I believe, I believe. And he gave the I have a dream speech, not the I have a plan speech. There's all these politicians that are in government right now that say, I have this comprehensive 12-point plan, let's do it. That's not how you convince people. We followed him not for him, but for ourselves. And so really, Martin Luther King Jr., really, the I believe, that's really the key in this. What do you believe? So right now we're going to do an activity where you guys all just got note cards on your table. And why don't you guys as a table are going to come up with a why statement, focusing on the why, of why someone should go to section content. And remember, focus on the why, not the what. Who has a really, really good example? Sit down. Yeah. You guys should come to Conclave to have fun and meet new people. All right, that's great. What are you guys right here?
To experience the embodiment of the order of the arrow.
To experience the embodiment of the order of the arrow in the moment. That's a really good one. What else? Yeah. Luana Lanka, did you guys have your hands up?
To work together to become better OA members, to improve the section as a whole.
To work together to become better OA members and to improve the section as a whole. Great. What else?
Because you can always further your leadership capabilities.
Because you can always further your leadership capabilities. I think I said that right. Yeah. It's long. All right. What?
An engulfing weekend of brotherhood and memories. Conclave is an opportunity for leading and succeeding. Flip the M and B to we. It will change your perspective from individuality to a group mentality.
Great. You guys, So after we're done, we're going to pick all those cards up, so don't throw them away or anything. But, it's really funny like I'm Luana Lanka, isn't it? Because you didn't think you were going to pick them up, did you? You guys are always an airman. Act like that. All right, there's an airman behind every tree. So that's what we say. But right now, Adam's going to really solidify it, so you guys really need to pay attention. I know we got to bear this like 5 more minutes.
So leadership, it's not a rank. Leadership is not a position. Leadership is a decision that every one of us has made to put on the sash and become a leader. It's a choice that every one of us has made. It has nothing to do with the position that you hold within our organization or any other organization you're a part of. There's leaders found at every level in that organization, from the bottom up. And a true leader looks out for the person to his right and a person to his left. And makes sure that in order for the organization to be successful, in order for them to be successful, the person to his right and left needs to be successful. And that embodies a true leader. There are leaders, and there are those who lead. And I believe here in the Order of the Arrow, we have some of the best leaders, because we're not just leaders, but we are those who lead. Leaders hold a position or authority. I'm sure every one of us knows leaders, whether they're teachers or adults or other leaders in an organization that hold a position of authority. But those that lead, those that truly lead, they inspire us. They inspire us to do great things, to step outside of the box, to realize our full potential and change the world. That's the difference between a leader and those who lead. And we choose to follow those who lead and gravitate towards them because it's really what we want to do in creating a better world. It's not because, we follow those that lead, not for them, but for us. So, because they may, like Martin Luther King stood up there and gave his I Have a Dream speech, all those followers didn't show up on the mall that day for him. They showed up because they also believed that. And it's not those who start with why. Those who start with why have the ability to inspire those around them to change the world.
People do not buy what you do, but they buy why you do it. Thank you.